I know what you need, and today I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to walk on a college basketball team and earn a scholarship.
Hoop loudy.
Before I get started, let me go ahead and apologize. I didn't post on Monday and Wednesday, but today's Friday. I'm posting today. If you have not realized this already, then you are in the place to be. If you're a student athlete in high school or in college, wanting to be as impactful as you can be, both in your sport and in the classroom. I strive to put up videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to help you do just that. I tell you my own stories, the good stories and the bad stories, help you navigate, and I also interview individuals. Make sure you check out my interview sessions with celebrities and student athletes that have been there and done that as well. So again, subscribe to the channel, baby, because you're in the right place. Some student athletes weren't picked to make it from the jump. Some student athletes didn't get doors knocked down. We're saying, here, we have scholarships for you. Some people didn't get that, you know. There's some individuals like Steph Curry, like Ben Wallace, like Scottie Pippen, like John Starks. Some people that are not heavily heralded coming out of high school, that people weren't trying to drop kick their front door out and say, here, please play with us. They didn't get a lot of scholarship offers. In some cases, not any. And some of those individuals, like a Scottie Pippen, had to actually walk on. And even your big brother Bill had to walk on his first year in red shirt. But today I'm going to give you some guidelines that I want you to adhere to maximize your time to get a scholarship after you walk on. First tip is the very first thing you should be doing, and that is to introduce yourself. So get this, this is not high school, this is college I'm talking about. And in the event that we're talking about college, you should already know, have met, be familiar with the coach and the coaching staff before you show up for the tryout. Don't make it a situation where you're over there stretching and people thought they brought their little brother or little sister and they're like, who was that over there stretching? You want them to know already that you want to try out. You want to put yourself in the best position possible. You have met these people on a regular basis. Make sure that if they had an opportunity to see you play beforehand, that's great as well, because now you put yourself on a whole nother level from everyone else just showing up at tryouts. It's not high school. You just don't show up. They should already have film on you. They should already know who you are, what you bring to the table, all that stuff. Number two, the thing that I did that I want you to do is this. I played junior college basketball, and once I played junior college basketball, I had to take 2 years off. I took 2 years off because my mother and father passed away of cancer, and I wanted to help take care of some of my siblings. So I made sure that I made sure that they graduated and we went to college together. So imagine, I was gone. I was off the grid for 2 years. For 2 years, I didn't play basketball. Why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you all this because when I started going from school to school trying to find a scholarship, I had all my stuff together. So that's number two. Have your stuff together. What do you mean by that, Bill? I mean your doggone transcripts. I mean your film. I mean all that stuff. You need to have your stuff together because you want the coach to not feel like you're a risk. That's your job. You want to ease the coach's mind that this is a good investment. This is a good investment to allow me to be on your team. You want to do the work for the coach, right? It shouldn't be a guess. You don't want time. You don't want it to be a thought in their mind like, is this joker, am I going to have to chase this joker to go to class? Is this joker going to come to practice high? Is this person going to come to practice drunk? Is this person even going to come to practice? Is this person going to go to class? Is this person going to go to study hall? Is this person going to hurt my players? Is this player going to be jealous of my players? Is this player going to be an ego-driven person? Is it like you want to answer all those questions already? You want to ease their even thought process. Because though you're not asking to be on the court right away, you know you got to walk on and earn your stripes. It's a privilege to even have that opportunity. So do your work, have your stuff together, and ease their mind. Because when I came through, man, I had my transcripts, my GPA, I had my doggone classes I've already taken. I had all that stuff. I had some film. I was ready to go. All you got, look, coach, I'm ready. Give me a jersey. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So again, have your stuff ready already to ease that mind going through. Number three, what I want you to do is be the person that's the best on the team, but don't act like you're the person that's best on the team. Oftentimes, as student athletes, we walk in there with a chip on our shoulder. It's me against the world. However you want it, you're going to get it. I got to prove myself. I got a chip on my shoulder. It's not what you want, especially in a tryout. Once you get in the game, you can feel like that against other team, but you do not need to feel like that when you're playing tryout, when you're in tryouts, okay? In tryouts, you don't want that. There's no chip on your shoulder. You're happy to be there. You're happy to have an opportunity because it's not a given that you got the opportunity in the first place. So why are you walking around mad, acting like you mad, like you mad at him giving you the opportunity? That's not the case at all. You shouldn't be like that. This coach has afforded you the opportunity to come down there and play with his ball players or her ball players, and that's how you go down with a chip on your shoulder. Though you may want to play like that in the game against other teams, you don't want to play like that in tryout because people start thinking about chemistry issues. From the outside looking in, it looks like you have an ego problem. Looks like it's not going to be chemistry. Looks like that you're going to be more work than what your behind's worth. And did I mention I have other scholarship players? Did I mention I already have some cohesion on this team? Did I mention I already have some chemistry on this team? You want to pull a stunt like this? You want to be isolated? You don't want to stretch with the guys? You don't want to talk to the guys? You want to walk around here with a chip on your shoulder? Next, get them out of here. Number 4, be positive. Coaches want people around them that's positive. No one wants to be around someone negative. No one wants to be around someone that's ego-driven. No one wants that. They want somebody that's positive. So be positive. If someone else scores, clap it up. If someone else dives on the ground, clap it up. Good play. You there and be positive. And I don't mean just for the tryout, but for the duration of your time on any team. That never goes out of style. You can't ever not be too positive and bring energy. So that's something that you can bring to any team. So make sure you do that during the tryout. It goes back to an earlier video that I had. If you don't know this video, then make sure you check it out. It's called Wings Weight. You want to find relationships that are your wings and not your weight. So as it relates to being on this team, I want you to keep that in mind. You don't want it to be a situation where this coach thinks for a hot minute that you're behind is going to be a weight and pull the team down. You want to be wings and pull the team, help raise the team up, help raise their GPA up, help raise their basketball IQ up, their morale, their positivity, all that stuff up. You want to be wings to the team. Number 5. Number 5 is, it's twofold. What I want you to do when you're on the basketball court is I want you to stick to your game and know how it meshes with the team's mission, their style of play. Stick to your game. Like if you don't shoot threes, then why are you shooting threes on a tryout? You make yourself look bad. What do you do on the team? What do you do on the team? Play that role and figure out how to mesh it with wherever the coach needs the team to go. Now, if you've done your homework, you already know these answers to these. You already know the answers to these questions before you got to this team, right? You should be trying out with teams that you already know their philosophy. You already know their style of play. You already know how to mesh your game into that. So when you get on these tryouts, I want you to make sure that you stay within your game. You stay within your game. Now let's be clear. Walking on a team is tough. Getting a scholarship is even tougher. But today I gave you some tips that can help you maximize your effort to get that scholarship. If not at that university, maybe a different university. Before I get up out of here, I want to answer some of your questions from your comments. I encourage you to leave some comments because at the end of my videos, I'm going to start answering those questions. So give me some questions. If you're going through some things, I'll answer them at the end of the videos. Thank you so much for checking out this channel. First question I'm going to go through is by, I don't know how to say that, LLVON. Shout outs to whoever you are. Thank you for checking out the channel. I really do appreciate it. Let's get into your question. Is it possible to still have 4 years of college sports eligibility if you don't play on a college team and go to school? Not a red shirt, but just going to school and not playing on the team. Is it possible to have 4 years after that, 1 year like a red shirt? Well, this is more complicated than you might think. I'll tell you this. It's different from school to school, meaning it's different from level to level. Not school to school, but from level to level, it's different. So, in Division I, I would have to check on the website. But as I know, when I played, you had 5 years to play for, right? So that was when your clock started, when you start taking classes at the university. It wasn't necessarily when you start playing the game, all right? I know that looks different from Division II. Some of you know that I went Division II. I actually graduated from Division II. At the age of 25. You say, Bill, how did that happen? Well, I redshirted my first year when I was in JUCO. I played 2 years after that. I then sat out for 2 years because both my parents passed away of cancer, and I took care of my siblings. And then I got back into it. So by the time I graduated, I had 2 more years left in eligibility when I got back into college. By the time I graduated, I was 24, about to be 25 years old. Now, if I was doing that at Division I, that would have looked different. I would have to have, I would probably have to appeal to the NCAA and see if I had that the option to keep playing. Given the circumstances of my family, I'm pretty sure that I would have. But typically, you know, that clock starts in Division I and it doesn't stop like it does with Division II, Division III. It just depends on what level of basketball you're playing. It depends on that, because you do hear about cats that are 28 years old, 29 years old in Division II. They're still hooping, right? Because their clock didn't stop. Their clock didn't start like it did in Division I. I hope that makes sense, but I can't give you a definite answer because I want to make sure if I give someone an answer about this, I want to make sure I'm reading it straight from the Division I section of NCAA.org. If you're not familiar with that page, make sure you're familiar with that page because it gives you a lot of information. But I'm glad you asked that. I'll be putting up more videos in the future about just compliance, because that's what you're asking. Essentially, you're asking a compliance question, and I don't want to give any misinformation. So everything you get on this site, man, I want it to be worth you taking to the bank. And since I don't know that compliance side through and through, I can't pull up the document right now. That's what I will say. It's different from Division I, Division II, Division III. It's different from NAIA. It's different. JUCO. It's just different. So do your due diligence and look that up per whatever organization they're a part of. Is it NCAA? Is it NJCAA? Is it NAIA? You got to look that stuff up on their website, and they talk all about that. But that's a good question. That's a good question. Let's get into another question. Let's see if we can find another question. Very helpful vid. Do content like this. Thank you. Da, da, da. Let's see. What else we got here? So Shannon Johnson asked me a question about why are my videos in black and white? My videos are in black and white. One, because when you put a video in black and white, man, it makes it important. It's a classic. When you look back on documentaries that are black and white, that means they have something to say. Much like this YouTube channel, man. I have something to say, and I feel like I want to be, and I want to make sure that I have the platform to say it. Number two, I would say it's different, man. I don't know much about cameras. All this stuff that I learned through using software as self-taught. I had a buddy to come over here to help me out. I did a lot of YouTube videos while I watched some of this stuff. So I knew really quickly that I didn't jump into this game because I wanted to battle you camera heads on megapixels. You may know more about megapixels than me, and that's totally fine. I'm not in there for that. I'm here to develop. I'm here to create content to help people in a way that I wish I was going through this process, and that's all I care about. So I didn't want to compete on the megapixels as far as color and ISO and balance and all that. I don't want to deal with all that. So I deal with black and white, and that's why I did it. And lastly, I would say that I did that because it gives me the opportunity to highlight what I want to highlight, the things that are important in color. Now, I'm black and white because I'm not really important. Though I have to be in front of the camera, I'm not really important. I don't want to be the center of attention. Again, though I'm in the front of the camera, what I want to be important is when I do those highlights of basketball games that I go and shoot that footage. That's important to me. Highlighting those student athletes that are still in the game. I hear a lot of people talking about how people are talking bad to them in the comments. Well, the graduates on my channel, man, Man, they lift me up. They're my wings and not my weight. Y'all always show up and show out, and I really appreciate that. That never gets old to me. And just keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, I just really appreciate y'all. I just really appreciate you. All right, now this is good. I'm getting a lot of comments but no questions, so I'm going to cut this thing off. But I end it like this. Whether it's on the court or off, in the classroom, out. Y'all know what I want you to do. Graduate at the top of your class. Hoop loud.